Hey everyone, welcome to a long-awaited sketchbook tour. Today I'm going to go through my sketchbook that I actually finished a little while ago, and this was my longest running sketchbook. I think I had a date, 1 second. I think this one, excuse me, come on. I think this one dates back to maybe 2018 when I first started it. And it was one of those sketchbooks that I didn't love drawing in. The paper is kind of thin and it smudges really easily. So it was never the go-to, but it always was just kind of lingering. So if I finished another sketchbook and I didn't have anything on hand, or if I wanted to jot down an idea but I didn't want to mess up maybe a nicer sketchbook I had going on, this was the guy. So it really spans a long time. So let's get into it. Now with that, we're not putting out personal info. If my camera moves, apologies, that'll be Ludo. Okay, so that's right. So I first got this sketchbook because I was going back to Japan, and I had big ideas of this being like my travel sketchbook, and I just draw all the time. But the problem with that was I was traveling with a friend who's not an artist, so we were actually not having too many sit-down moments where I could draw. And you know what it's like if you're trying to draw and you're trying to capture something and someone's kind of hovering around, you know that they're ready to leave. It's just not the vibe. So despite my best efforts, we get only a few pages. Stop. All right. We only get a few pages. Oh. 1 page. Okay, never mind. This one, I really loved how it turned out. This was when I had my, what were they called? Not Copic markers. They were start with P. I can't remember. Anyway, basically Copic marker. And that was I really enjoyed how so you can see how thin the pages are, it bled through straight away. But I really loved this picture. It was my favorite for a really long time. Yeah. So still, because this dates so far back, we do have a little bit of emo writing, which I'm just going to cover up because that's kind of embarrassing. We got some life drawing sketches, practicing hands, practicing old woman. So this, I will need to look up what date I'm Not a Witch came out, but that really shows how old the sketchbook is. I went and saw that at the cinema for the Auckland Film Festival. Great movie. Plants and all sorts. Inktober, clearly we're just doing what we're doing. I was going to move out, went and looked at a room for rent, tried to work out if I could fit my furniture in. Story ideas, cutouts. I kind of like how she turned out as well. Okay. So now we're back in Japan. So I actually don't know what the thought process was with that. Maybe that first picture wasn't actually when I was in Japan, and it was just happened to be a bus that looks like the ones that run there. Went to the Parasite Museum. That was super cool. Really, really freaky. Went to the gardens. Okay, so this is year, month, day. Okay, so yeah, 2018. Went to Went to Hiroshima. Really sad, really interesting. Yeah, beautiful part of the country, like so gorgeous, and then just like obviously so horrific. Sketches. This was a self-portrait, which I really loved. I was happy with how it turned out. Forever trying to memorize my hiragana. Always. Octopus. This was, I was planning out like a 3D sculpted kind of freaky thing with like mushrooms and eyeballs on it, and it was going to be on a wood plaque. And I even started it, but then I moved and I didn't take it with me. So that was short-lived. Doodles. Okay, so I was about to move to London and I was deciding what felts I wanted to take. As you can see, this is like very bitsy bobsy. Like, I don't know, some people's sketchbooks look so stunning and so thought out. A lot of my sketchbooks look like this, like a half drawn thing, half faces, mouths, practicing different things. Like, it's very rare that you get a page like this. So I actually really like this page. And it's really nice looking back at such an old sketchbook, because these little moments, even though they have nothing to do with what my day looked like at the time or anything like that, like it pulls me right back to where I was. More sketches. I really like this alligator lady. Oh, this was when my partner and I went on the Eurostar to Paris, and we were just talking about how back when we were younger, we really thought that like the train would go under the ocean and you'd get to see the water and the fish, and I just thought that was a really funny little concept. Some more drawings. I should have written who the artist was, but I really like copying unique little faces and like details of other artists when they draw, and then slowly kind of absorbing different aspects of that into my art. Like, I don't know if really much has been absorbed for this, but looking back, like, I know why I drew this, because I love how they did the eyes. I thought that was just so cool. It looks really nice. There's a little sketch of when I did the Seven Sisters walk near Eastbourne. I can't remember. In the UK. Some more drawings. I was getting sick of sketching and feeling like my proportions were just such a mess and all over the place, and so I like went back to the drawing book quite literally and wanted to grid out how faces and proportions go on average, and then have something to play with for like exaggerating or whatever. But it really helped. Like, I really enjoy these ones. That one not so much, but that's, I think, because I don't really like drawing guys, so there wasn't any passion in that one. And I think that was really helpful. Like, sometimes you get so caught up in how you're used to drawing things, or like what your shorthand is for stuff, that having a little refresh and kind of starting the process from scratch again just re-solidifies anything that you're not liking, like helping you switch that up. And also you can, make sure that you're drawing purposefully, and what you're drawing is not because of a lack of understanding, but because that's how you want to be drawing, if that makes sense. Some little doodles. That was when on TikTok the box crab was popping off. I thought it was so cute. Some more sketches and doodles. And I really like this page as well, actually. I really love sheep and like this kind of shepherdess motif. It comes up a lot, like for years I've drawn it, and I don't know, there's something about it. It's like houses, fields with sheep and like a farmer or a shepherd, and girls. And mountains. That's like the rotation. Well, having a bad day. This was a little practice sketch because this was a little practice sketch for my little nephew. It was a little watercolor card that I made for him when he was brought home from the hospital. That's kind of what the character ended up looking like, and it was like a night sky with a little star. You can see, painted it onto this book because I don't give a crap. What's this? Oh, this was prepping for the exhibition I did. Deciding what I wanted to draw, like Call Me By Your Name, challenges, kind of getting some dynamic going. I never ended up going with the challenges idea, but I really liked practicing that. See, you might not be able to tell, but there's like sheep hair, mountain range, little valley. This one was from, what's it called? Wes Anderson film, Billy Elliot, in Bruges. I really liked this one, and I actually drew it out on like proper big watercolor paper, getting ready to do it, and I never did. I think it was too intimidating because of like the buildings and perspective, and I got scared and didn't do it. They Live, didn't end up doing that one either. Some more sketches, a little fantasy guy. I think these are probably referenced from Pinterest. They just look a little more polished than straight out of my head. I'm not sure what was going on. Oh, this was from, I thought I'd do Secret Garden as well, like the one from the 90s. And see, then this is like a massive flashback to the beginning of 2018. So I don't know why I drew just right in the middle of it. Clearly it wasn't the right sketchbook from the jump. Because what I was doing wasn't making any sense. But that was my old little baby, Evan. Unfortunately, he had medical issues and in the end had to be put down. But he was my first little fur baby, and I miss him. This was practice for the gallery as seen on TV. This is from Ladybird. And I really loved how this one turned out, and even the final bigger piece I'm like really happy with. Some more practicing. I was going to do Spring Breakers, but didn't really feel like it in the end. Oh, this was obviously Twilight, and then I did it again, but I didn't like how the hands looked too kind of curved and small. And so I drew it out a bit better and then like recreated it. And that piece sold. So I'm glad I did that because I was way happier with the final piece. This was the transfer paper for The Shining. This piece didn't sell, but I really liked how the girls turned out. And I realized that using baking paper as like transfer paper is such a win. It was so easy, and like I didn't have to go out and buy extra things. I didn't have to hold my sketchbook up to the window to try to create a light box. Like I could just draw over it and then easily flip this over, scribble on the other side, and it would transfer to whatever I wanted it on. Inktober. I didn't do Inktober last year at all. So I clearly thought I might and didn't. I love doing little eyebrows like that, like so angry and swirly. It's really fun to do. This is another little doodle page, lunchtime sketches, mouths, you know, just trying to hone in a bit better on how I draw. Don't know what that is. Hiragana, come back. Thank you, Ludo. I started knitting and I would love to do some like little designs like those bonnets. And then this is for my partner's grandma who passed away. She loved artichokes. She loved artichokes, and so I was just kind of practicing before I did a little watercolor for the family for that one, which was really nice. Notes. Doodles. I love a girl in a bonnet or any kind of headscarf. I think it's like it's fun to draw and it just creates such character in the characters. Surprise, surprise. Some practice for Ludo. No. This is just some character sketching for my comic, Petite Rats. Getting some ballerina poses going on. Doodles, more cars I never draw, a little tree study, buildings, little ballerinas, some life drawing. That was really fun. I really need to do more of that. I say it every time, and I really do need to do more life drawing. A girl eating some eyeballs. A nothing page. I was planning my website. And some other little doodles. Planning out my signature. I've lost a little light. Hopefully that helps. I really like this one. This was referenced from Pinterest photo. More logo creations. More drawing. Got really into drawing boar or like wild pigs. They're just so fuzzy and like such an extreme shape that it was really fun making this snout all snuffly and like a real high ridge on their back. And here's just some drawings that then I finalized. There's the characters that I'll put the final on screen, but like this all the sketches and practices for that. Yum Cha that I ended up doing a watercolor of. I'll put that up on screen. I love that one. It's in our living room. I'm really proud of that. Doodles. More ballerinas. Working out like if I want to elongate the legs more for the comic. More ballerinas. Relaying out the Yum Cha watercolor. I find that if I want to finish a piece, I really need to draw it out a couple of times to like remove any of that stress of needing to get it right the first time, and like then after the fact thinking about the way it's laid out and wanting to redo it. Like any of those sorts of thoughts, sketching it out a couple of times helps just solidify what I want to do before I do the final. This is when I got my oil pastels. Drew a little mango, which I made a final piece of. This was for a friend's birthday, a commission that I had, and that was really fun to do. So that went through a couple of iterations before the final. And then a little landscape, which I'll see if I can grab it right now actually. So that then became this, which I really like. Painted it yellow first with acrylic just to get rid of the white. And then the oil pastel laid really nicely on top of that. I kind of smudged bits out, left other bits a bit gappy. I'm still trying to work out how best to work with oil pastels, because that's definitely a new medium for me, but I'm really enjoying it. So more of those to come. More hair. Just trying to work out, you know, my signature. These things that, like, some people just seem to be able to crack it straight away of like, oh, and this is how I'll sign off all my artwork or whatever. And I've just never really been satisfied with anything I've come up with. This was a fun page. I was really in the zone doodle-wise. I thought maybe I'd create a little Ludo character, but now I've got my own real-life Ludo. So if I were to do anything with that little dog, I might need to rename him because there can only be one Ludo. I got really into drawing this style of a profile where it like slopes and then like the mouth, the nose, the lips, the chin, everything's like really stretched out in front. Kind of like looks a little, I don't know, like a little dog or I don't know. So it gives me a little animal vibes, but I think it's really cute and really easy to do, which is always something that I enjoy when drawing people, because sometimes I feel like I'm really in the flow with it, and then other times I'm like, I can't draw a person to save my life. So here you can see I'm doing more and more, like pushing it even more. We got a little lady and her cows up here. Anyway, just ignore that. More writing, more doodling, more trying to work out some sort of signature that I like. Some more kind of sketch and another sketch, and then I'll put the final in here. Then we got some more doodles. I really like doing these little mouths and eyes. Oh, so I haven't even finished it. But you know what? Basically, it's basically done. So, thanks for watching. And I will be back with some more videos really soon. Love you guys. Bye.